I saw you slip that into your basket. You're not walking out of here with it.
Ma'am, I didn't take anything. It's just milk and bread.
Don't lie to me. I watched you.
Everything okay over here? I'm fine. She's accusing me of something I didn't do.
Because you did it!
Ma'am, let's keep our voices down. What seems
He's
to be the
stealing.
problem?
Check his jacket.
Go ahead, check. I've got
Let's
nothing
step
in
over
it.
here and talk.
This woman destroyed her entire life in under 5 minutes, all because she couldn't stand seeing a black man shop in peace. Before we continue, let me take this opportunity to thank you so much for supporting our channel. Just choosing to watch our video means a lot to us. Before we go any further, tell us, where are you watching from? Drop your city or country below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if this is your first time here. Jerome Mitchell had exactly 45 minutes before his next client meeting. He worked from home as a software consultant, and his calendar was packed. All he needed was milk, bread, and something quick for dinner. The supermarket was 3 blocks from his apartment. Simple errand, in and out. He grabbed a basket near the entrance and headed straight for the dairy section. Tuesday afternoon, the store was quiet. A few elderly shoppers, a mother with 2 kids. Nobody paid him any attention, which was exactly how he preferred it. Jerome picked up a gallon of milk, checked the date, placed it in his basket. He moved to the bread aisle, found the whole wheat he always bought, added it to the basket. Then he walked toward the frozen section for a microwave meal. That's when he heard her voice. "Excuse me! Excuse me!" Jerome glanced up. A white woman in her early 50s was staring directly at him. She wore designer sunglasses pushed up on her head, a cream-colored blazer, expensive-looking jewelry. Her expression was sharp, accusatory. "Can I help you?" Jerome asked politely. "I saw what you did," she said loudly. Her voice carried across the aisle. "I saw you put something in your pocket." Jerome froze. "I'm sorry, what?" "Don't play dumb with me. I watched you. You took something off the shelf and stuffed it in your jacket pocket." She pointed at him like he was a criminal already convicted. Jerome looked down at his light jacket. His hands were empty except for the basket. His pockets held his phone, wallet, and keys. Nothing else. "Ma'am, I haven't taken anything. Everything I'm buying is right here in this basket." "I know what I saw," she snapped. Her voice grew louder, more insistent. "You people always think you can get away with this." You people. Those 2 words landed like a slap. Jerome felt his jaw tighten, but he kept his voice calm, professional. He'd dealt with this before, too many times. "Ma'am, I'm just here to buy groceries. I haven't stolen anything. You're mistaken." "Don't you dare call me a liar." Patricia, her name was Patricia Whitmore, though Jerome didn't know it yet, stepped closer. "Security! Someone call security!" Other shoppers began to notice. Heads turned. A teenage employee stocking shelves pulled out his phone, started recording. Jerome raised his hand slightly, trying to de-escalate. "Look, I'm happy to show you. I'm not letting you walk out of here with stolen merchandise. Where's the manager? Where's security? This man is a thief." Her voice echoed through the store now. Everyone was watching. An elderly woman whispered to her husband. The mother, with 2 kids, quickly steered her cart away. Jerome stood there, basket in hand, feeling the weight of every single eye on him. All he'd wanted was milk and bread. Now he was being accused of theft in front of dozens of strangers, being called "you people" by a woman who didn't know his name, his profession, or anything about him except the color of his skin. And the worst part, he knew exactly how this would play out if he responded with anything except perfect, controlled composure. Patricia wasn't done, not even close. "Everyone needs to see this," she announced, turning to the growing crowd of onlookers. "This is exactly what's wrong with this neighborhood. These people come in here and think they own the place." Jerome took a slow breath. "Stay calm. Don't give them a reason." "Ma'am, I'm going to ask you one more time to stop. You're making false accusations. I haven't stolen anything." "False!" Patricia's voice pitched higher. She pulled out her phone. "I'm calling the police right now. You're not going anywhere."
A store employee approached nervously, a young guy, maybe 22, wearing a red vest with a name tag that read Kyle. He looked between Patricia and Jerome, clearly uncomfortable. "Is there a problem here?" Kyle asked. Patricia pounced. Yes, there's a problem. This man stole merchandise and put it in his jacket. I witnessed it myself. I want him detained until police arrive. Kyle turned to Jerome. Sir, did you? No, Jerome said firmly. I did not take anything. Check my pockets, check the cameras. I have nothing to hide. He's lying, Patricia insisted. Search him right now. Kyle hesitated. Ma'am, I can't just search someone without... Then get someone who can. Get your manager. Get security. Do your job. Patricia was nearly shouting now. More phones came out. At least 5 people were recording. Jerome could see the teenage employee from earlier had his camera pointed directly at the scene. A woman in yoga clothes was filming from behind a cereal display. This was going viral. Jerome knew it. Whether he was innocent or not, this moment would be on social media within the hour. His face, his name if anyone recognized him. Kyle spoke into his radio. Manager to aisle 7, security to aisle 7. Jerome set his basket down on the floor. He pulled his phone from his pocket, slowly, deliberately, and held it up so Kyle could see. I'm going to record this too, Jerome said calmly, for my own protection. Oh, now he's threatening us? Patricia shrieked. Did everyone hear that? He's threatening store employees? I didn't threaten anyone, Jerome said into his camera. I stated I'm recording this interaction. That's my legal right. A heavy-set security guard arrived, radio clipped to his belt. His name tag read Dennis. Behind him came the store manager, a thin man in his 40s with wire-rimmed glasses. What's going on here? The manager asked. Patricia launched into her story immediately. I was shopping, minding my own business, when I saw this man steal something off the shelf and put it in his jacket pocket. I confronted him, and he's been aggressive and defensive ever since. That's not true, Jerome said evenly. I've been nothing but calm. This woman approached me, made a false accusation, and has been yelling racial slurs. Racial slurs? Patricia's face flushed red. How dare you? I never said anything racist. You said you people, twice. That's not racist. You're just playing the race card because you got caught. The manager held up his hands. Okay, let's all take a breath. Sir, would you be willing to empty your pockets? Jerome met his eyes. Am I being detained? Because if not, I'd like to pay for my groceries and leave. Just empty your pockets, Dennis, the security guard said. Not a request, a command. Jerome felt the humiliation burn in his chest, but he complied. He pulled out his wallet, his keys, showed them his empty pockets, opened his jacket so they could see there was nothing hidden. Satisfied? Jerome asked. Patricia's face twisted with frustration. Check the basket then. He probably put whatever he stole back. The manager bent down, examined Jerome's basket. 1 gallon of milk, 1 loaf of bread, nothing else. Ma'am, the manager said carefully, there doesn't appear to be any stolen merchandise. Then check the cameras, Patricia demanded. I know what I saw. The manager nodded slowly. All right. Dennis, can you take these 2 to the security office? We'll review the footage. Think about that for a second. Jerome had done absolutely nothing wrong, but now he was being escorted to a security office like a suspect, all because one woman decided he looked like a thief.
The security office was cramped. 1 desk, 2 monitors, a filing cabinet, and barely enough room for the 5 people now crowded inside. Jerome stood near the door, arms crossed, phone still recording. Patricia sat in the only chair, her designer purse clutched in her lap like a shield. Dennis pulled up the security footage. The manager, whose name was Greg, stood beside him. Kyle hovered near the back, clearly wishing he was anywhere else. What time did this happen? Dennis asked. Patricia checked her phone. About 12 minutes ago. Aisle 6, near the frozen foods. Dennis rewound the footage. Multiple camera angles filled the screens. Grainy, but clear enough. They watched in silence. The footage showed Jerome entering the store, grabbing a basket, walking to the dairy section, picking up milk, moving to the bread aisle, selecting a loaf. Nothing in his pockets, nothing hidden. His hands were visible the entire time. Then he walked toward the frozen section. That's when Patricia appeared on screen. She'd been in the next aisle over, pushing the cart. But here's what the cameras caught that nobody else had seen. Patricia wasn't shopping. She was watching Jerome, following him. Her head turned every time he moved. "Wait," Greg said. "Go back 15 seconds. Dennis rewound. They all watched as Patricia reached into a shelf, grabbed a small item, the angle made it hard to tell what, and slipped it into her own purse. Quick, practiced, like she'd done it before. The room went silent. Jerome leaned forward. "Did she just—" "Keep watching," Dennis said quietly. The footage continued. Patricia followed Jerome to the frozen section. Then she confronted him, pointed, yelled. Her mouth moved angrily on the silent video. Jerome stood there, calm, hands visible, showing his empty pockets. Greg looked at Patricia. His expression had changed completely. "Ma'am, can you open your purse, please?" Patricia's face went pale. "Excuse me?" "Your purse. Open it." "This is outrageous. I'm the victim here. I reported the theft, and now you're treating me like—" "Ma'am," Dennis's voice was firm now, professional. "Open your purse, or I'll need to call the police to do it for you." Patricia clutched her purse tighter. "You can't just search my belongings without cause. I know my rights." "You demanded we search him," Jerome said quietly. "Seems fair." Greg held out his hand. "Your purse. Now." For a moment, Patricia didn't move. Her eyes darted between the door, the monitors, the faces staring at her. Then, slowly, she opened her purse and dumped the contents onto the desk. Wallet, lipstick, sunglasses, hand sanitizer, receipt, gum, and 3 small bottles of expensive face serum, price tag still attached, $28 each. "I can explain," Patricia started. "Don't." Dennis picked up one of the bottles. "These are from aisle 9, cosmetics section, our most shoplifted items." Greg checked the timestamp on the footage again. "You put those in your purse 17 minutes ago, before you ever confronted this gentleman." Patricia's mouth opened, closed, opened again. "I was going to pay for them. I just put them in my purse because my cart was full." "Your cart is empty in this footage," Dennis said. "I meant I was planning to get a cart." "Ma'am, you accused an innocent man of theft while actively stealing from this store." Greg's voice was cold now, disgusted. "Do you understand what you've done?" Patricia stood up abruptly. "This is entrapment. You're twisting this around. I made an honest mistake."
"An honest mistake?" Jerome's voice cut through the room. He wasn't yelling. Didn't need to. "You called me you people. You demand that I be searched. You tried to have me arrested, all while you were the thief." Patricia's face flushed crimson. "I didn't mean, it wasn't about—" "Yes, it was," Jerome said. "You saw a black man shopping and assumed he was stealing. That's exactly what this was about." Dennis was already pulling up more footage. Different angles, different times. "Greg, you need to see this." The screen showed Patricia in the store over multiple visits. Last week, 3 days ago, yesterday. Each time, the same pattern. She'd enter, shop normally for a few minutes, then slip items into her purse. Cosmetics, small electronics, vitamins. Always expensive items, always concealed. "How long has this been going on?" Greg asked. Dennis checked the logs. "I count at least 8 visits in the past month. Every single one she took something." Patricia grabbed her purse and headed for the door. "I don't have to listen to this. I'm leaving." Dennis stepped in front of her. "No, ma'am, you're not." Patricia's hand was on the door handle when Dennis spoke into his radio. "Front entrance, lock it down. We have a shoplifter attempting to leave." "You can't keep me here." Patricia's voice cracked. The confidence was gone now, replaced by panic. "This is false imprisonment." Greg pulled out his phone. We absolutely can detain you until police arrive. You've committed theft. We have video evidence. And you falsely accused another customer to cover your own crime. Patricia spun around. Her eyes landed on Jerome. Please, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Just let me pay for the items and I'll leave. I won't come back. Jerome said nothing, just watched her. This woman who'd humiliated him in front of dozens of people, who'd called him "you people," who demanded he be searched like a criminal. Now she was begging. How much has she stolen total? Jerome asked Dennis. Dennis was typing on the computer, cross-referencing footage with inventory records. Based on what I'm seeing, conservatively, probably $800 to $1,000 over the past month. Patricia's legs seemed to buckle. She grabbed the edge of the desk. No, that's not. I didn't take that much. Ma'am, we have you on camera. 8 separate incidents. High-end cosmetics, vitamins, supplements, electronic accessories. We can track every item. Greg was already on the phone with police. Yes, we need an officer at Riverside Supermarket. We have a suspect in custody for retail theft, multiple incidents. We have video evidence. Patricia looked around desperately, at Kyle, who avoided his eyes, at Dennis, who stood between her and the door, at Jerome, who remained perfectly still, camera still recording. I have children, Patricia said, her voice breaking. I have a family. This will ruin me. Please. You have a family, Jerome repeated slowly, and you were willing to destroy my life over a lie. Were you thinking about your children when you called the police on me? When you tried to get me arrested for something I didn't do? Patricia opened her mouth, but no words came. Dennis pulled up her driver's license information from the membership card she'd used on previous visits. Patricia Whitmore, age 53, lives on Oakmont Drive. Greg looked at the address and let out a low whistle. That's the gated community off Preston Road. Those houses start at $800,000. Wait, Preston Road? Kyle said suddenly. I saw her car in the parking lot. It's a Mercedes SUV, brand new. The pieces clicked together in Jerome's mind. You don't need to steal cosmetics. You live in an $800,000 house and drive a Mercedes. Patricia slumped into the chair. Her hands were shaking. You don't understand. My husband, he monitors everything. Every purchase, every dollar. I have an allowance, like a child. So you steal? Dennis asked. It's the only thing that's mine. The only thing he doesn't control. For a brief moment, Jerome almost felt something like sympathy. Almost. Then he remembered her face when she'd pointed at him. The disgust, the certainty that he was a criminal.
That doesn't excuse what you did to me, Jerome said. I know. Patricia wiped her eyes. Her expensive mascara smeared. I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're not sorry you did it, Jerome said. You're sorry you got caught. 2 police officers arrived, Officer Chen and Officer Rodriguez. Dennis handed them a USB drive with the footage. We have everything documented, Dennis explained. Multiple incidents over 4 weeks, approximately $1,000 in merchandise, and she falsely accused this gentleman to deflect suspicion. Officer Chen looked at Jerome. You were the one she accused? Yes, sir. I was shopping. She claimed I stole something, demanded I be searched, used racial language, all while she was the actual thief. Rodriguez was already reviewing the footage on the monitor. He watched for 30 seconds, then shook his head. Ma'am, I need you to stand up and place your hands behind your back. Patricia's face crumpled. No, please, not handcuffs. Please don't. Ma'am, you're under arrest for retail theft and filing a false report. My husband can't find out about this, Patricia sobbed as Rodriguez cuffed her. Please, he'll divorce me. I'll lose everything. Chen turned to Jerome. Sir, would you like to press charges for defamation and harassment? Jerome thought about it. Thought about his meeting in 20 minutes that he'd now miss. Thought about the dozens of people who'd watched him be humiliated. Thought about every time this had happened before, every suspicious look, every time someone followed him in a store, every time he'd been assumed guilty. Yes, Jerome said, I want to press charges. The video went viral in under 3 hours. The teenage employee who'd recorded the confrontation posted it on TikTok with the caption, "Karen accuses innocent black man of stealing while she's the actual thief." Within minutes, it had 50,000 views. By evening, 2 million. Major news outlets picked it up by the next morning. Patricia Whitmore became a household name for all the wrong reasons. Her arrest record went public. Patricia Ann Whitmore, 53, charged with retail theft, filing a false police report, and harassment. Bond set at $5,000, court date scheduled. But it didn't stop there. Someone found her social media accounts, found posts where she'd complained about certain people ruining her neighborhood, found her commenting on local news articles about crime, always with the same thinly veiled racism. Screenshots spread everywhere. Her husband filed for divorce within a week. The local country club revoked her membership. 3 companies she'd done consulting work for terminated their contracts. Her daughter, a college senior, issued a public statement saying she was horrified and ashamed. The internet showed no mercy. Jerome, meanwhile, became something else entirely, a symbol. His calm composure in the video impressed everyone who saw it. His dignified response, the way he'd refused to lose control, even when falsely accused. Job offers came in. 3 different companies reached out about consulting work. A local civil rights organization asked him to speak at their next event. Someone started a GoFundMe to cover his legal expenses, though he never asked for it. It raised $40,000 in 2 days. He donated it all to organizations fighting racial profiling. The supermarket issued a formal apology. Greg, the manager, personally called Jerome and offered him free groceries for a year. Jerome declined, but he appreciated the gesture. "We're implementing new training," Greg told him, "for all staff, about implicit bias, about how to handle accusations. We should have done better." Jerome agreed. They should have. Dennis, the security guard, admitted something in private. "When I first got called to that aisle, I'll be honest, I assumed you were the problem. I'm ashamed of that now. I let my assumptions guide me instead of the facts." Jerome respected the honesty. It was more than most people would admit. 6 weeks later, Patricia stood in court. Her lawyer argued for leniency, community service instead of jail time, noted her previously clean record, mentioned her difficult marriage and mental health struggles. The judge wasn't impressed.
Mrs. Whitmore, you didn't just steal from a store. You attempted to weaponize the police against an innocent man. You knew exactly what you were doing when you made that accusation. You knew the danger you were putting him in. Patricia received 6 months in county jail, 2 years probation, 500 hours of community service, and restitution to both the store and Jerome for defamation. Jerome attended the sentencing, not for revenge, for closure. As Patricia was led away, she looked at him one last time. He couldn't read her expression. Regret? Resentment? Maybe both. 3 months after that, Jerome gave his first public speech about the incident, standing before 200 people at a community forum on racial justice. "What happened to me wasn't unique," he said. "It happens every day, to people who don't have video evidence, who don't stay calm, who react with justified anger and get punished for it. I was lucky. I had witnesses. I had cameras. I had the privilege of staying composed." He paused, looking out at the audience. "But here's what I want you to understand. I shouldn't have needed luck. I shouldn't have needed cameras. I shouldn't have needed to be perfect in order to be believed. That's the real problem." The room erupted in applause. Today, Jerome still shops at that same supermarket, not because he has to, but because he refuses to let one woman's hatred change his life. He walks in, grabs his basket, buys his groceries, and leaves. Sometimes people recognize him, ask for photos, thank him for his grace under pressure. He's polite, always polite. But what he really wants is to be invisible again, to shop without being watched, without being assumed guilty, without being anyone's symbol or lesson. He wants what Patricia had and took for granted, the freedom to exist without suspicion.
That's the real injustice. Not what happened that Tuesday afternoon, but the thousands of Tuesdays before it and the thousands that will come after. Patricia got her karma. The internet made sure of that. But karma doesn't fix the system that enabled her in the first place. So here's the question we should all be asking. How many people like Patricia are out there right now making assumptions based on skin color? How many Jeromes are being accused, searched, or worse, and there's no camera to save them? Do you think justice was truly served, or is Patricia just one person paying for a problem much bigger than her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if this story made you think differently about the assumptions we make every day, hit that like button and subscribe. We need more conversations like this, because the next Jerome shouldn't need a viral video to be believed. He should just need to be human.